Hi, the newest member added to Honkai Star is Sparkle. Sparkle is a quantum harmony support that is able to increase and gain skill points. She is our second limited 5-star harmony unit and is just as strong as the first one. However, unlike Ranmei, to fully enable and use Sparkle's buffs, there are more conditions. So here are the top 3 best Sparkle teams that's able to fully utilize her kit. Before we start, I'll be giving away a supply pass / Rocket Moon / Crystal card to my subscribers at 3k subs, so make sure you subscribe to enter. If you don't know what Sparkle does, I have a guide, link in the description, but in a nutshell, her talent increases the total skill points of your team to 7 while increasing team damage based on skill point usage. Her skill advances forward 1 ally while giving them crit damage, and her ultimate increases her talent buff while also gaining 4 skill points. Sparkle's kit is quite simple, however to use it to the max potential, we have to note 3 things. 1. Sparkle's damage percentage buff is based on how many skill points your team uses, so we have to make sure our team is not too skill point positive. 2. Sparkle's ult gains 4 skill points, so we have to make sure our team is able to use a lot of skill points so those don't go to waste. And 3. Her skill is a crit damage increase, so we have to make sure our team can use those crit damage increases. Now that we have listed out the criteria to fully use Sparkle's kit, let's pair her up with teammates that is able to fulfill those requirements. Number 3. The Sparkle plus Bronya duo. Everyone is saying how Sparkle is a better Bronya and Bronya will be useless. But what if I told you instead of throwing Bronya aside, they actually perform exceptionally well together. Too well actually. Basically what this team focuses on is a sequence of action that is Sparkle into DPS, Bronya into DPS, allowing our DPS to continuously get turns. Now the amount of times you can do this sequence in a cycle is a bit technical, so for a more in-depth look in this team, check out my last video, link in the description as well. But generally speaking, this team will cover all 3 dot points to fully use Sparkle, as Sparkle and Bronya spamming skill on each of the turns is already using a lot of skill points. So we can choose to use less SP heavy DPSs with a more SP heavy sustain or vice versa. Then we just have to make sure our DPS likes crit damage, which is basically everyone except DOT units, so that's pretty easy. The team I've chose to showcase this team is this one. Jinlu is used as she really likes having more turns as it means more talent uptime. However, the other great options include Blade, Argentine, Jinyuan, etc. DHIL and QQ are not great choices in this team as those will use too many skill points. And since Jinlu is relatively skill point positive, I can use a more SP heavy support which is Shran, who actually can utilize one of Sparkle's bonus trace abilities which I will touch on in the next team. But as I said before, if you do want to use more skill point heavy DPSs, you have to go with less skill point heavy sustains like Locha. Number 2. Mono Quantum. Fushan is a great teaming option as one of Sparkle's bonus trace abilities, Nocturne, increases attack for everyone depending on the amount of quantum units in the team. While this is not as important as the 3 points I listed out before when using Sparkle, it is still a good idea to take it into consideration as attack is still a very good stat. This team is a typical hyper carry team comp with a DPS, support, and sustain. But as the name suggests, you want to be using the same element across everyone. And coincidentally, one of the best mono archetype is Quantum, as we have access to Silver Wolf, who can implant weakness based on your team's elements if the enemy does not have it. However, I do want to mention that Nocturne has a cap of 3 characters, Sparkle included. So don't forget, in some, actually a lot of cases, using a 4th character of a different type is actually better. So for example, using Ranmei over Silver Wolf in Quantum weak content, or using Huohuo as a sustain over Fushan in Wind weak content. The DPS options are the Quantum trio we love, Silly, QQ, and Shui. Each have their own benefits, but just a heads up, QQ is very inconsistent, as sometimes she could use not many skill points, and other times she could use too much. Personally, Silly is my favorite here, as her insane speed and resurgence means high skill point usage, and in turn sparkles talent above uptime. But Shui will better utilize Sparkle's action events. Number 1. Last but not least, Lune Hyper. Now, I'm not going to name this generic hyper carry, as that will be an understatement of this team. This is arguably Sparkle's best team, but it's definitely Lune's best team by far. Sparkle is basically able to fix all of Lune's skill point issues whilst also benefiting from it, making this truly a pairing made in heaven. Well, of course, using other DPS in this team makes it just a generic team comp, but Sparkle buffs no one better than Lune. Well, technically more consistently compared to Lune since QQ exists, but I digress. Ever since it was revealed that Sparkle increased SP, a team comp including both her and Imbarbator Lune has been really popular, and it is with good reason. Lune is able to use all the extra skill points Sparkle adds to the team, while Sparkle is able to unleash all her buffs as Lune using 3 skill points every turn, which will guarantee 100% uptime on Sparkle's talent, and Lune running attack boosts is able to fully utilize Sparkle's crit damage and action events on her skill. For the other 2 characters in the team, it is recommended to go Ting Yun plus Hua Hua, as more energy means more Lune skill points, which makes this team just a tad bit more comfortable. But of course, if you want to use Nocturne, Fushuan over Hua Hua works here too. But for those not looking to have high uptime on Lune's ult, using Ranmei over Ting Yun works as well. But just to be safe, it is still better to run Luotra over Fushuan or Hua Hua with Ranmei, as she is not quite as SP efficient as Ting Yun.
をもてなさないと。はっ、遊んでよ。動じないで。
この力がさ健康さ飲んで
かくれんぼし答え見つけてごらん。輪を持って超解散。千の珍奇一心同期。頑張って。
健康千輪は総理世を注が
見つけてごらん。客をもてなさないと。かくれんぼし答え見つけてごらん。
あっちはその中で十分だ。
仲間だもん。
健康さ飲んで千輪は総理世を注が
千の珍奇一心同期。はっ、覚えておくださいね。
健康な
かくれんぼし答え見つけてごらん。頑張って。超解散。
千輪は総理世を注が
千の珍奇一心